it was really difficult to incorporate other material because it's a really story. When this film actually is an experience in life. You are in the film. And I just what I told that Shambhu first. I use only 4 days of shampoos, 3 or 4 days beginning, where when he only just switch on and switch off the camera, and every time I went back and I was they were very interested to see the material. I showed them, but I couldn't realize that after 4 5 times watching the material, Shambhu was shooting like me. You couldn't believe at all, and he managed to cut the shot at the right place. So actually, when I structured the film, I wanted to keep little difference from his shooting and my shooting. I just, I tried, Madhusri, I tried a lot to incorporate his shooting.
Follow up on Madhushri's query. Um, the difference which you were confessing to, which is quite lovely, the way in which his cinematography style would actually match yours and mimic yours. Let's say mimic yours. That too is a kind of an utopian moment, right? One doesn't have to draw maps and D-maps, etc. That this too is an utopian, where an amateur, actually a rank outsider, can become an amateur cinematographer, right? That's kind of amazing. And I was actually, there were two moments where I thought they were so interesting. One was the shooting of his family, where they're off to school and he wants the composition in a particular way. And the other was when he's playing cards with his friends. And I thought that footage, when they're actually all referring to the camera, that would actually become a case for a litigious moment, that this was the way in which the camera would actually show up in court evidence, that there would be, that I thought this film would actually turn out to be about, like Madhushri, I was actually hoping that, oh, I get it, finally he's going to nail it. I mean, so there's that. The other question which I have, which I'm actually hoping that since there are so many of you sitting here, whether one can actually talk about, I have additional questions which are sort of a little different. Is the style of it at all, right? Because we're actually talking about globally this style, about squatters, about malls coming up, etc. And I think of two films immediately, one from Taiwan and of course the other Still Life, Jai Still Life, which is sort of the large pans. In both cases, they're at least pitched as films that are walking the thin line between fiction and documentary, right? That's the, I mean, whatever that line is anyway. So in this case, I was wondering if you could actually talk a little more, actually not talk. I too have a wish. I wish it had actually been at that point where the fiction of you being the cinematographer could have shown up, right? That it, at the end of the day, Shambhu dies, but Shambhu becomes a great film cinematographer. How about that?
Yeah, being a documentary filmmaker and cinematographer, both I must mention, it's really, I enjoy keep a relationship with my character, and also it's a burden for me in one point. So, means Shambhuda used to call me at 12:30 and 1 o'clock, and used to call me, and he wanted to share with me his problems, his agony and all. But sometimes I really, I couldn't take all this. But I just, I listen all this, what he's saying. And over the period, what I said earlier, that 6 7 months, they just ignore me. And then I keep track with them, and they didn't allow me to sit inside the house. And over the period, and it's struggle, and they one point they realize that I'm their friend, and they allow me in their private place. They allow me in their because I waited till that point.
India in a bad image, ultimately. There's no relief in the film. There's nothing that is showing India in a brighter light. You know what I'm trying to say? Like if some foreign national takes this film to show, if France sees this film, the image that you're carrying of India is the total film is totally focused on a particular aspect, but there's no relief of India in it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Actually, when I started making this film and started telling this narrative, I was not really think about India. Seriously, I'm not. I was very aware beside me what is happening. That was I was much more concerned about that.